Here we go now.
Oh, now here we go now. Look, here we go now. Here we go now. Welcome back, guys, to the KEMPIRE channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to let me know if you can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. Don't forget, you can also watch us exclusively on thekempire.com. You can also read our blog there. You can get your tour dates information. And don't forget, speaking of tour dates, we have a live show coming to New York City, September 25th at the Green Room 42. Go get your tickets today. There is a live stream option. So shout out to those of you that have already bought your live stream ticket. You can keep that for 1 week after the show. But if you missed our March 13th live show, our Friday the 13th live show, you can watch it now on our Patreon. Who is a Patreon baddie? Shout out to all of our Patreon baddies. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming to the Patreon. So make sure you're following us there. You can scan the QR code on your screen. Shout out to our King's Guards in the chat. Shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to our channel members. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. I was in my feels this morning. Did you guys see my post that I posted on the YouTube community post tab and of course on our X account? You know, every once in a while you get in your feelings, you think of, not in your feelings, but you get sentimental about things. So, and I recently said, I'm such a big advocate of people saying thank you. And because I noticed recently there were so many people, although I know that they are grateful when I do something for them, they don't say thank you. And for me, you don't have to get me anything. You don't need to give me what I've given you. I'm not expecting something back. But if I know that someone expresses gratitude or they say thank you, that means more to me than you just sort of expecting something like that. Because I'm telling you, like, there are certain people that I know are grateful and are not mean-spirited. Well, some. But they don't say the very least thank you. That's an important thing to me. If the last prayer that you say in your life is thank you, that would suffice. Joseph Campbell. I live by that. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to do this special Thursday live because we had a few hot topics that I wanted to discuss. And if you missed it, don't rely on the algorithm, y'all. I did talk about this Kandi and Tamar story yesterday. We do have an update, so I will be talking about that a little bit today. I want to talk about Real Housewives of Orange County a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to talk about Real Housewives of London just a little bit. I do feel like Bravo's not promoting this show, even though it's airing on Bravo. And then, of course, you can watch it on Peacock as well. You're welcome, Bravo. I already watched it. Remember when I went to Ireland back in the fall? I can't believe it's been almost a year since I went to Ireland. So I watched it when I was in the UK. I liked it. I thought it was a really great first season. Would I say it was iconic or epic? No, but it was a nice breather from some of the other ones that we've watched over the years. So, and I just watched this week's episode 2, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable. But that's me. Okay. As always, guys, what's your good news? Do you guys have any good news today? I want to know what your good news today. Let me know what your good news is. My good news, I feel like I set myself up for a to-do list this month. And now that we're getting at the end of the month, I was going through my to-do list and I was like, oh, check. Okay. it feels good when you put a to-do list together and you actually accomplish the things. Some things you can't accomplish sometimes because it's dependent on other people. But then I got those other people together this week, and now I could say check to those other things. I love it. I love it. Where are my sound effects? There are some sound effects here because, as you can see, I'm not in the studio. But I know they have some sound effects on this damn stream. Oh, here we go. I mean, it's not the same as the one that we got, but it'll have to do. How does that sound on your end? How does that sound on your end, guys? All right. Be sure to like today's video. It's easy, free way supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. I want to just get into some of the things that I wanted to cover. Since we were just talking about Real Housewives of London, I want to ask you guys in the chat, have you guys watched the Real Housewives of London? How are you feeling about it? If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, I mean, the first 2 episodes have aired. As I said to you before, I already watched it. So watching it now, thank God. I mean, it took them a very long time to bring it here to the States because they already filmed and wrapped their season 2. Their season 2 hasn't premiered yet, but it took them a long time to bring it here. And as I said before, I felt like Bravo's not really promoting it. It would be nice to see the women come on Watch What Happens Live or something like that. But I don't know. I told you during the last week, I did a video talking about this. I said to you, I met Karen at BravoCon, not the last one, the one before that. So that was what 3 years ago? Almost 4 years ago, right? If I'm doing my math correctly. So was it? Yeah, because they do them every 2 years, or they just started doing it every 2 years. I can't remember. But it was a couple of years ago, and I met her with Listra. Listra is on Real Housewives of Cheshire. Lovely women, and I met them via Lisa Milan because Lisa Milan is friends with them. I wonder if we get to see Lisa Milan on this new season of Real Housewives of London because she's real friends with Karen. But probably not because I don't think Lisa's been in London, at least not recently, not during filming. So who knows? She's definitely not featured in season 1. In season 1, though, speaking of Dubai, you do get to meet Caroline Stanbury because Caroline's friends with Juliet. She's friends with both Juliets, right? I don't know about friends, but she's definitely friends with one of the main characters of Real Housewives of London. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about these ladies from the Real Housewives of London. Last week when I spoke about this, I was telling you about Panthea and her beef with Juliet. They're both on the left side of your screen for those that are watching. Panthea is great. I know some of you are going to watch Real Housewives of London. You're like, I can't stand Panthea. But I always tell you guys this. If I say I'd like someone for reality television, I'm thinking of it from a producer perspective, from a television perspective. It's not would I have crumpets and tea with her. You know what I mean? It's not that. She's good reality television, meaning that she is going to bring the drama. And I just watched episode 2 and all her kids are in boarding school, but that's very common in England where people go to boarding school. And apparently I think one of her sons is going to the same school as the princes, Prince William and Prince Harry. Can we still call Prince Harry Prince Harry? I guess we can call him whatever we want, right? We can call it whatever we want. So her story is interesting. Her mother is interesting. I almost forgot about her mom. Her mom is sort of like a Rolling Stone. She wasn't your typical mother. So Panthea really tries to be a different type of mother. But at the same time, I kind of understand why Panthea is the way that she is. But again, I think she's great reality television. All right. This week, we see Karen hosting the ladies. And Panthea is at the root of all the drama because now Panthea has heard rumors about Amanda, who's dead in the center. She married rich. So she was like, did you make your ex-husband adopt your child in order to, because she amassed a certain level of wealth? Could be a combination of who she married, but also her own ventures and things like that. She lives very well. So for those that watch Real Housewives for the wealth, you're going to see a lot of that. Last week, I told you what Karen says. She's like, instead of asking for jewels, she doesn't speak like that. She's Jamaican. So the Jamaican accent, it really is sort of like a combination of the English accent and Jamaican patois. So Karen was basically, instead of asking for jewels, I asked for property. And I love that for you because she has like 5 homes in England. Might be in London. I can't remember where all her properties were. And she's building out a property. And I've already told you how I feel about that. If a housewife is not that interesting, if she's building property, I'm in. Karen's interesting, though. And you may have saw the preview for next week's episode when they go to what is it? Oh my goodness, I can't even remember her name. The one next to Amanda on the right side. I can't remember her name. It starts with an N, right? Nessie? Is that? I don't remember. You guys will remind me in the chat. Either way, they go to her beautiful estate, and there's some drama. Not messy. Is it Messy Arjun? Is her name Messy? Not Nessie? Because damn, I mean, she's far from messy, though. She's far from messy. Okay? Tekka says it's Nessie. It's okay. I was about to say, I'm like, I don't remember. I think that would have stood out to me if her name was Nessie. It's Nessie. Thanks, Lexi. Lexi says, no, it's Nessie. I was like, wait a minute. Well, Nessie, she's a woman about town. She also has her own thriving cake business, like very successful. Like she's made cakes for the who's who in London. I like her. She again, I told you this last week. She for me sort of is the Cynthia Bailey of this cast. This week's episode really was focused on trying to make peace between Juliet and Panthea after their big blow up during Amanda's party, about a dentist, about, does she borrow clothes? Before they settle their things, it definitely gets heated. And I was like, this is classic Housewives drama that a lot of you say that you miss on Housewives. So that's what I'm enjoying so far when it comes to the Real Housewives of London, the lap of luxury you're getting. Stay tuned for more drama. We also get to see, as I mentioned before, Caroline Stanbury. So Caroline meets up with Juliet to go shopping. Juliet, you felt a little like you were putting on for the cameras. So I definitely believe you borrow clothes. I don't think there's anything wrong with borrowing clothes, but that is Panthea's dig at Juliet. Juliet's like, well, you could dress better, to Panthea. Okay. Foxy says, I like Karen too. Karen is one to wait till, I mean, there are moments. I mean, Karen's not perfect as a housewife on the show. There's certain things that she does that kind of make me go, Karen, that's not the way to do it. But the microaggressive comment that's coming her way from Panthea, that's when you guys will be like, I knew I didn't like Panthea. Okay. Dia says, Nessie, I was hearing messy. It's Nessie. I knew it wasn't messy because that was stood out to me. All right. So I just wanted to mention a little bit about Real Housewives of London. If I had to rate the first 2 episodes, I'd probably give them like a 6. I felt like it's been strong, but it's taking a little bit to heat up. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. I want to know. I want to continue to have the conversation. I'll continue to include it. I'm not going to do a separate live to talk about it, especially because these first 2 episodes, I felt like it's just introducing us to the women. I will say this, because I didn't love Caroline Stanbury on Real Housewives of Dubai, but I loved her on Ladies of London, the original. Sidebar, speaking of Ladies of London, the new reign, the new one, Andy Cohen recently confirmed what I told y'all before, that the reason why it was canceled was because of ratings. And remember, I told you, when people were blaming Margot, that Margot was suing the network and that's why it got canceled. First of all, that's never stopped the network before. Secondly, my sources were telling me that the cast were waiting to see whether or not they got renewed. No one at any time said, oh, I don't think we're going to get renewed because this one is suing. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn off my notifications. Y'all can tell I'm not in the studio because all this stuff would have already happened. Apologies in advance. So Andy Cohen recently confirmed that it was canceled due to ratings, despite, everyone saying we love it, we love the show. The same way you guys said that you love Real Housewives of Miami, but the ratings for Miami did not justify the cost. We have to remember, this is also a business. Ratings are important. If the ratings are not coming in regards to a show, that means advertisers are not going to pick it up. They're like, yeah, we're not going to advertise on that show. It doesn't get ratings. It's not worth our time. So keep that in mind, that could be the motivation behind why things played out the way that they played out for Real Housewives of Miami and Ladies of London New Reign. That's why Andy Cohen said it was due to ratings. I do find it interesting that Andy will say ratings when it comes to another show, but he didn't say that about Miami. He said it in his own way, but he didn't say it like the way that he said it about Ladies of London, a show that he does not produce. Did y'all notice that? I forgot the way he said it, but he didn't say, "Oh, it was the ratings, blah blah blah." He gave people hope when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami, but clearly it had to do with ratings. I mean, according to my sources, it had to do with ratings. Yeah, the ratings for Miami were pretty damn bad. But we followed the ratings when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami. And I already told you that they were pretty bad, but the ratings for me did not reflect the quality of the show. Miami brought it. Sidebar, speaking of Miami, did you guys see that new photo that Larsa posted of herself that looked like it was AI generated? I was like, I had to zoom in. I was like, who's this woman? And look, we know she loves a filter, but this is where she went overboard. Larsa, you're still a good-looking woman who just turned, how old did she turn? She's like 50-something years old, right? I didn't make that up, right? All right. Anyway, exactly. Danny said, but Watch What Happens Live ratings are not that good either. But again, this is where it's all about who you know. The other thing to note when it comes to Watch What Happens Live, it promotes their other shows. It's also a cheap show to produce. There's only one person getting paid at the top over there, and that's Andy Cohen. Hence why they're like, okay, you can host everything on the network. We're gonna squeeze all the juice out of this damn contract with you. But I agree with you. Watch What Happens Live fluctuate more than the way their ratings fluctuate more than how we change our underwear. That's where the ratings always are fluctuating when it comes to Watch What Happens Live, depending on who's on there. I've digressed. So Andy Cohen did confirm that the reason why Ladies of London, The New Reign, was not picked up for another season was because of ratings. All right. Someone said, what in the Mia Thornton? What is going on with Mia Thornton? Who knows? Oh, damn. Okay, Danielle says, no, don't lie, Kemp. How am I lying? Larsa's surgery's messed her up. Well, I haven't seen her in person in a very long time. So I don't know what the real Larsa even looks like anymore. Funky says that Larsa ruined her face. She was stunning before. She completely looked. For those that were fans of Real Housewives of Miami from the beginning, you know what Larsa used to look like. A completely different woman. If anything, she got the Kim Kardashian special when she was friends with them. And I think when you start getting surgery, you start getting addicted, and especially because this is why I don't really love to talk about people's physical looks on the channel, because I also understand that once these women are on the show, people are always commenting on their looks, and this is why they end up doing all these things to their bodies, because the comment section, they see all the things that people say about how they look, how they dress. I remember I heard a housewife thinking for the next season, should I rent out a big, beautiful home? Just to keep up with the Joneses, just to keep up with what people were expecting of this said housewife. Okay. Anyway, I've digressed. Not to Disney Aladdin movie. Well, you guys are hilarious in the chat. Let me say thank you. I am Brandy Janae. Thank you so much for for being a member for 15 months. We appreciate you. She says, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you for the reminder, because I was like, what is today? I'm thrown off this week a little bit. Wait, Shameka. I was about to say Shamea. Shameka, let me shimmy for you. Let me shimmy for you. Sometimes I do that. I might hurt myself. Let me slow it down. Shameka, thank you for the super chat. Shameka says, thanks for always being a highlight of my day, reply or live or on Patreon. Thank you so, Shameka. I didn't know you. Wait, no, I did know you were on the Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon baddies, guys. Join today if you're missing out, because I've been dropping tea left and right. Not even intentionally, but we have a good time over there on Patreon, and there's like no limits. We don't have to worry about community guidelines. I mean, they have their own guidelines, but it's not the same. Okay, because we're behind a paywall. I do some free lives over there too, guys. So become a member. Latoya, thank you so much for the super chat. Latoya says, I am so excited. My good news is that I'm getting married tomorrow, and we close on a house next month. Latoya, first of all, congratulations on the marriage, and congratulations on the house. I can't even imagine. You must be so excited. Where are you getting married? It's supposed to rain all week here in New York City. and I think along the East Coast. But rain on your wedding day is actually good luck. That's what they say. Look, I don't know. I haven't seen the statistics on that, but I don't know. Maybe you're somewhere where it's not going to rain. Either way, mazel tov to you. And you close on a house next month. That's amazing. That's amazing, LaToya. Congratulations to you and your fiance and future husband, wife. No judgments. Look, shout out to the Ligga Bigga Ticka crew. Shout out, speaking of them, don't forget we're still raising money for the LGBT Center. I told you I'm not stopping this fundraiser till we reach our $10,000 goal. Foxy already gave 3 times. She shouldn't have to do that. Us as a community can reach that goal. But I get it. Everyone has their things, so I'm going to give you time. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. Okay? Check out any of our last couple of videos. Make your donation today. Thank you in advance. Lou says, bless your marriage and home. Yes, everyone, please send love to her on her wedding day and new home. I love a new home. You know, I watch a lot of videos on, like, that's my YouTube watch, is tech reviews, especially with the new iOS that's coming out for the iPhone, the new things that are coming from. That's what I watch. But I've been watching a lot of home stuff too. So I'm like, dude, give us a tour, LaToya. I'm kidding, because you already know people want to ask a tour for it. This is the most you guys have seen of this apartment. Okay, besides the studio. All right, but this is actually a nice little background. Okay. All right, let me focus because I don't have a lot of time today. I mean, I do, but at the same time, I got things to do too. All right. All right, let's move on from there. So that's Real Housewives of London. I gave you a little update on Ladies of London, the new reign, and what Andy Cohen had to say about that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was Real Housewives of Orange County. Not long. This will not be long, okay? Because I'm not recapping it. I watched the first 3 episodes. The new episode comes out tonight. You're welcome, Bravo. Because it feels very rehearsed. It feels, now the Tres Amigas are back together. That was the last scene from episode 3. The Tres Amigas are back together after Vicky forced them to come together to have a conversation. Tamara, to me, it's the same stuff we were talking about last season and the previous season when it comes to Tamara. Tamara is now saying, because in this week's episode, she had a scene with Teddy Mellencamp, who was suffering. They said she had a tumor in her brain and things like that. They only gave her a few months to live, but she's doing really well. Very happy to hear that. But Tamara, we all were very critical of Tamara because it felt like she was using Teddy's stuff as a storyline. I'm not saying that it didn't affect her life, because that is a close friend of her. They do business together. They're best friends. So they talk about that. But Tamara saying that how much this affected her and it made her be a certain way last year. Didn't she say that last year? She's like, oh, all the stuff that I've been going through, this is why I was acting like that, but this is a new Tamara. How many new Tamaras are we going to get? How many new Tamaras are we going to get every other season? Not even every other season, every season. And now it's the focus of the group. And look, I see what Jen is doing. I liked Jen her first season. And I know a lot of you turned on Jen last season because you guys were so pro, not you guys, but some of you were so pro Katie, and you didn't like the way that she treated Katie, and she chose these women over Katie. Honestly, I would have chose these women over, well, I don't know about these women, but I would have chose anything over Katie. Just saying, because I do think that Katie is a liar. Why am I going to sugarcoat it? A liar. But watching Jen navigate this group this season, it's feeling like she's working for her check. It feels like a producer has gotten in her ear that she needs to mix it up, get involved, and question people and bring information around. She's like a bone carrier, but almost in an obvious way. And it's sort of like, Jen, what are you doing? Why is it like you don't like Tamara? Tamara went way below the belt. But now you're sort of like bringing information to Tamara, and now Tamara and Heather's storyline is going to be, there's a rift in their relationship because Heather's always talking behind her back. I really don't think that Heather's talking about behind Tamara's back in a malicious way. I do believe Heather will say, well, I'm a little scared of her. Like, I don't love everything that she does. I think that's all fair. But Heather has said this to her face. All right. The other thing that happened in this week's episode was, what was the other thing? Oh, was the son that Jen was talking to, was that the one that was a part of the fire situation that she recently came out and confirmed that her son was a part of it? Because she's got a couple of kids. Well, she has this conversation with her son because he got in trouble, and she sits down to have a conversation to see what's going on with him. Because you remember, and look, I have to say, Jen has had an actual storyline that has been somewhat interesting. You got to be a terrible dad when Ryan is the one that seems to be a good father. Does Ryan have his own kids? I don't think so, right? But Ryan has really shown up for Jen and her kids, and he's sort of like, your husband, your ex-husband really needs to show up for your kids. So that scene that she has with her son where he's like, I don't, my parents are divorced. I don't really get to see my dad. I'm really with you 100% of the time. Jen was telling Ryan that she's happy that she has custody of the kids. Excuse me. She's happy. But I completely understood where Ryan was coming from. He's just like, well, that's great that you have custody of the kids, but they still need their father. So it seems like the father's not there. Nylon says, yes, Kempi has his own kid, but we haven't seen them, right? Well, honestly, I'm glad he has his own kids, because if Ryan had made it to that age with no kids, I feel like that is a red flag, ladies. And we'll talk about that when we talk about some other people. Because I do feel when a heterosexual man reaches a certain age and has never had kids, I'm not saying that you shouldn't date them, but that should be in the back of your mind. Who agrees with me in the chat? I feel like if a heterosexual man does not have children, and I'm not saying that he's got to have a whole heap of kids everywhere. I'm not just saying that, but you've never been married, you never had any kids, and I'm not saying there's an exception to the rule. I'm not saying there's not an exception to the rule. Way of Key says maybe he can't have kids. Then you say that. Wouldn't you just say that? Well, no, I had this particular procedure and I can't have children. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that he can have children, but he's never had a kid. He's never been married. I do believe, okay, we won't call it a red flag. We'll call it a pink flag. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's a reason for you not to date someone. What I'm saying is pay a little bit more attention to that said man. Because we've met some of those men, TJ. TJ doesn't, remember TJ from Real Housewives of Potomac? Doesn't have any kids. Remember TJ? Well, how old is TJ again? I know what the age his IMDb said, but what did he look like again? Just saying. Jennifer says it's definitely a flag. I don't think you should eliminate someone because they have never had kids. Like if you're going through an app, a dating app, and you see that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't date them. If everything else checks out, there are exceptions to the rule, but I do believe that is somewhat of a red flag. And we've digressed. So I agree with Ryan, which is a shocker in regards to they need to be involved because he's not their dad. And her kids aren't babies. Her kids are like teenagers. So I completely understand where Ryan's like, he needs to be more involved. And that might be part of the reason why the kids are acting out. So when the son has the conversation with Jen about like, my parents aren't together anymore, I don't get to see my dad, Jen starts crying, making it about her. I'm just like, but I get it. She's very sensitive. You know what I mean? But I didn't like the fact that she started bawling. She's covering her face and he has to comfort her. He's the child, Jen. Control your feelings. He's trying to be honest with you. Now you're making him feel bad for being honest with you. I do think she's a great mom, but I didn't like that moment. Okay. Joy says, yeah, but what if he doesn't want kids? There's other elements to this. Okay, if he doesn't want kids, means he's wrapped it up. Great. What's his relationships? What is his relationship history? Said man. Just asking. Okay, Lexi says, I thought the exact same thing, Kemp. Okay. All right, guys, just joined us. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County. We have more to get into. I'll add the timestamps when I get to it. Look, when I get to it. How are you guys feeling about, for those that are watching Real Housewives of Orange County, how are you guys feeling about the return of Vicki Gunvalson? Good? Not good? she's okay. Like, I get why Vicky was Vicky of the OC and why people loved her. She's quirky, she's funny in her own way. She's great reality television. She's weird in the best way possible when it comes to reality television. But for me, this season she's not the reason to watch. I haven't found a reason to watch. Carmela, I forgot her name last week. Carmela Garcia, the newest housewife. Was Emily really complaining about Carmela giving her a Dior bag with a dildo in it? Was she really complaining about that? And then making it an issue with her? Like the women, Tamara and Jen, make an issue with her. Like, why did you get her that bag? That feels like, a lot. Stop. I felt like they were doing way too much. They're so used to people like Gina on the show. They're so used to people like Gina on the show. It's like, okay, more like, oh, she's trying to bring some luxury to the show. Because remember, who does do gifts like that? Heather. Look, Heather does stuff like that. I don't know why they were making such a big deal about it. I will say this, though. The dildo, okay? The dildo situation, I feel like that's a gift you give someone that you know well. But maybe women feel a little bit differently about this. However, you are not familiar with Emily. However, I do feel like that was a bit much. The bag, I would have taken the bag. Some people might say, the bag is too expensive to give someone you just met, but not in her book. Not in her book. But the dildo, I don't know. Her Carmela's interesting so far. I mean, it's still too soon to make any assessment on if she's a good housewife or not. But it's interesting learning her story. She was a playmate, a Playboy playmate, and things like that. She talked about, some of the grimy things that she's seen while working in that industry, and she doesn't want that for her children. So she's interesting so far. I can't say that I hate her or love her. It's nice to see people like Jen, who's a newbie, kind of build a relationship with Emily. I'm not sure how authentic it is, because I will say it does feel a little performative this season with a lot of the women when it comes to who's getting along with who. But okay, Gina is about to get married. She's engaged, and she was talking about whether or not she was going to drop her last name. That actually is a big deal for a lot of people, especially if you have children. They want to have the same name as their children. I mean, I get it. And for me, it's a name at the end of the day. But for some people, it is a significant thing. But if you guys, for those that have watched the first 3 episodes of The Real Housewives of Orange County, how would you rate it? Based on what I've seen so far, which is a lot of the same, besides, Carmela and some of what Jen's going through. And Emily's having marriage trouble. Emily talks about, I will say this, Emily talking in last week's episode about being there for her daughter because she felt like she wasn't when her son was struggling with what he was struggling with last season. I felt like that was heartfelt, and I thought that actually was a sweet moment from episode 3. So I like that. And I know some people just don't like Emily, so they're going to be like, oh, she's using her kids again for a storyline. Guys, that is her storyline. I will say this, her issue with Tamara, about Tamara bringing up, well, now you can get invited to the iHeart parties. And she says that she was bothered by that, even though in the moment when they re-show it, you can tell this is Tamara taking a dig, being funny. And she literally says in the moment, I'm joking. I don't believe she was joking. But Emily, I didn't even know you had the podcast until they mentioned it during the reunion last season. And I still don't listen. At least, despite the 2 T's in a podcast, I don't listen to their podcast, but I definitely see clips. I know that it does very well. I see it in the charts on Apple Podcasts. I don't see whatever your podcast is in charts. Just to be fair, but it really bothered her because she really has nothing else going on for herself. Did I say too much? Did I say the truth? She really doesn't have anything going on with herself. Savannah says that Emily used to be likable. Now she's producing within the group. A lot of them, because they don't have anything else. When you're on reality television for so long, it becomes that. That's why they need to recycle the folks. Latoya, thank you so much for the super chat. Congratulations again. Latoya says, Kempire, thank you so much. Me and my husband are doing a courthouse wedding and honeymoon in October. I'm all about I don't need the big pomp and circumstance. I'm here for a courthouse wedding, honestly, or something small and intimate, because I don't know a lot of people that I would want to that I like enough to invite to a wedding. But I can't speak for the future, Kempire. You know what I mean? So that's me. I will say this. When I went to Paris back in 2019, right before the pandemic, I came back to the States like January 2020. I spent the holidays in Paris. A friend of mine, great tour guide, took me around, showed me things. He showed me where people in Paris usually get married in their town hall, their courthouse wedding. That is different. So anyone that wants to get married in Paris, see if you can get married there. I don't know if you can do it out if you're not a citizen. You probably can't, because you know how the French can be. No offense, French, but I'm just saying, and I don't blame you. You don't want just Americans. Oh, I'm going to go to Paris to get married in the town hall. But those town halls, when you look up at the ceiling, it's so ornate. It's gorgeous. I mean, Latoya, I don't know where you're getting married, girl, but do you, okay? Latoya says, Kempire, thank you so much. Laughing out loud. Me and my husband are doing, not my husband already. Oh, you got the paperwork already, because you're getting married tomorrow. So you got the paperwork already. I mean, your mama or your sister didn't hide the paperwork. What in the Cynthia Bailey? She says, let me get through this thing. Let me shimmy again. She throwing the dollars at me, even though she just bought a house and she has a wedding to pay for. Thank you. My husband and I are doing a courthouse wedding and honeymoon in October. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and yes, it is good luck. I will definitely send you pics through Instagram. Please do, Latoya. I am invested now. Congratulations. That's beautiful. I mean, I'm glad you didn't invite me, because I don't like to go to a wedding. But I probably would have went to your wedding because it's in a courthouse. It's not going to be this pomp and circumstance and a reception and all this stuff. That is a perfect segue for us to talk about Married at First Sight. But before we do, let's pay some bills. Okay? Let's pay some bills. Bills? Quick MyFitnessPal moment. Logging your food is one thing, but here's something I didn't expect. After a while, MyFitnessPal Premium actually starts showing you patterns. Not just today, not just one meal, but it's actually showing you patterns of your eating habits. And that's where it got real for me, because it started showing me things that I didn't even realize. How my weekends completely fell apart versus my weekdays. Or on days when I actually hit my protein goals, that I actually felt really, really good versus other days where I didn't hit my protein goals. I wasn't guessing anymore. I could actually see it in the MyFitnessPal app. And once you can see a pattern, that's when you can actually change it. And that's the difference of tracking versus understanding what you're tracking. Because as I keep reminding you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery, and the insights are what connects the dots. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off MyFitnessPal Premium. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. And we're back. Latoya, let me know if we can share the picture with the community. If you don't want that, that's fine, but I want to see the pictures from the wedding. Shout out to our friends over at MyFitnessPal. Again, guys, don't forget, with our discount, Kempire, that turns out to be premium which reminds me, I need to update my my log for today. That turns out to be $68 for the year, $5.66 a month, 19 cents a day. Who's checked out the MyFitnessPal? Go check it out today. More information on MyFitnessPal and all of our sponsors will be available in the description. This is a special Hot Topics Live. Don't forget, you can also hear it on the Kempire podcast, along with some other special episodes. Guys, also don't forget, head on over to thekempire.com/join for our mailing list. A lot of cool stuff are going to be coming there. And speaking of traveling, whenever I'm traveling, I'm going to be giving you guys the tea via the blog, but also the mailing list, like I did for my Mexico City birthday trip. And now you can actually get the mailings from that trip on the Patreon. Okay, look, we got the things going. We're giving you all the things, guys. So make sure that you are following us on Patreon. Scan the QR code or head on over to patreon.com/thekempire. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Let's move on. Since we were talking about LaToya's wedding that's happening, and good luck to her. Married at First Sight. I haven't watched all the episodes. 9 episodes are now available. I think they dropped 3 episodes today. I am not fully caught up. I am not fully caught up. All right. But I will say this. I'm in. I can't promise you I'll be doing separate lives talking about it, but I will talk about it. Married at First Sight, because I saw this video going viral about this woman. Let me bring up the cast names because I'm still learning all the cast names, okay? This woman is getting married, y'all. And hold on, where is my Married at First Sight cast list? She's getting married, and this moment is it's so produced, but at the same time, I'm like, what is happening? Nikki and Sean. Let me bring their pictures up so y'all know who I am talking about. Nikki and Sean. Maloney says I'm on episode 5. I'm on episode 4 right now. Literally, that's what I was watching before this because I wanted to talk a little bit more. Now they're on their honeymoon. For those that aren't familiar with Married at First Sight, literally you are marrying someone that the experts are bringing your match to you, and you're meeting them for the first time at the altar, and you're getting married. I always find it interesting when people go on a show like this, and maybe one of their deal breakers is attraction. You should not go on Married at First Sight if attraction is a deal breaker for you. But I think people don't realize it until they're in that moment, and the person in front of them is not their type. Okay? Nikki and Walter. That's what I'm calling him. I don't care what y'all say. Nikki and Walter. Sean. His name is Sean. Okay. So I saw that video going viral when she meets him for the very first time, which I do believe there was some editing magic here because I think production knew what they were doing. I was saying this to Taria Faison, as I call her, from the What Else Is Going On podcast. I said, I just hate that they're doing this to a Black woman on reality television. Because we see this all the time. Clearly, this woman wants to get married, and she's at that point in her life. She's an HR leader. She's 46 years old. I will say this. She's got a thing about her, too. How do you guys feel about, because I didn't have a problem with her saying that she wants her man to make a certain amount of money. It might limit the pool, but I also don't think that it's impossible when she said that. She said the last part, the bottom line for her would be like 200,000. I don't think anything's wrong with her having that, especially if she's making that amount of money. You know what I mean? If she's not making that amount of money, then that's one thing. But she's making that type of money. Who wants to be taking care of somebody? Some people are okay with that. I'm not trying to take care of anybody. I do that naturally. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very generous. But I don't want to feel like I'm taking care of you. Like you quitting your job and you whatless now. Real whatless now. That is not the type of partner that I'm looking for. But some people are okay with that. That's fine. You have your things. But keep in mind, your things might limit your pool of people. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, I could go over all the couples with you guys, but this is the couple that I really want to talk about. But before I get into this couple, I do want to say Courtney, the one who claims that she's very conservative and she married Nick, who was on The Perfect Match and on The Circle. When homegirl said, when she was asked about where she was on January 6th, and she was like, remind me, what happened on that day? I said that was the red flag. That for me was the red flag. You want to act like you don't know. That's like the biggest running joke of anything. And I'm just sort of like, you saying, remind me what happened on January 6th. You may have not been there, but you probably saw no problem with it either. When Nick was asked about the liberal things, that the things that he might be liberal on, I have a feeling that Nick likes attention and he's doing this show somewhat for attention. The fact that on their honeymoon, and I just was watching this, I didn't finish the episode, she's almost like the man in the relationship because she's doing all the things traditionally. I'm not saying that you can't have it either way. But traditionally, things that a man would do in a relationship, she's doing. And I'm like, there's just a lot of red flags for me with Nick. Because I do feel like there is a level of him saying, yeah, I date these girls and, sometimes I just don't know if they're dating me because they want to date Nick from Perfect Match. And I'm thinking to myself, sir, I get it. Reality television, especially if you're on Love Island, things like that, in Real Housewives, it does garner you a level of celebrity. I've never seen you a day in my life. Some of these girls just want to, date Nick from The Perfect Match. And the more that they talk to him and at the wedding and things like that, I said to myself, I think he might be on here for the wrong reasons. Hold on. The ninth said, the ninth says, no one knows him. But I'm sure there are people that do, because I know the show, The Perfect Match and The Circle. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about him. All right. Some other couples that I want to talk about. How do you guys feel about Cameron? Cameron's the basketball player, and he's with Michelle. I like them. I have some hope. But here's the thing. Married at First Sight does that to us. In the beginning, we fall in love with some of these couples. And so part of me sort of is staying guarded because although they seem perfect in the beginning, all of a sudden with, TV magic, you're like, this man is crazy or this woman is crazy. Speaking of crazy, I got to talk about, what's his name? Hold on. I got to pick it. Here it is. Adam. I'm getting bad vibes, y'all. I'm getting like almost, and I'm not saying that this is a fact, but the vibe I'm getting is sociopath, like stranger danger. Anyone else? Like, he's a good looking man, but so was, some of these other, serial killers. Good looking man, but so was some other serial killers. There's something about that. This is for those that aren't familiar with who I'm talking about. He's the one with like the blonde curly hair. He has a big thing about his pets and things like that. And he went up during his wedding and he can play the piano. I'm just telling you, it's giving serial killer. Like, he's perfect. You know what I mean? He's perfect. I don't know about him. I'm a little concerned for Marissa, girl. But Adam, there's something about him that's giving me, even this picture from the wedding, it's giving killer. It's giving killer. How do you guys feel about Belle Jolie? Beautiful. She's one of the other Black people on this show. And how do you guys feel about Mecca? So far, what I've seen of them from episode 1 to 3 and a little bit of episode 4, they are vibing really well. I'm open to them, but I'm staying guarded. Let me see what you guys are saying in regards to this couple. How do you guys feel about the other Black couple? Not these two yet. We'll get to them because I got a long video to show you when it comes to this couple. Okay, a long video. Buckle up, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay. I will say that because I was talking with Taria about this too, and Taria was saying something with Mecca's father. It felt like Mecca's father was being flirtatious with Belle. I don't know. Miss says he's a baddie. I feel bad for Belle. There were other people saying, because they're the vibe this season, they're saying they feel like there might be some guys on here that might be a part of the Liga Bigga Tigga crew. I don't know. But I will say this. People are part of the Liga Bigga Tigga crew. As a part of the Liga Bigga Tigga crew, we come in very different shapes and sizes and aesthetics. And when I say that, I'm not talking about looks. What I'm talking about when it comes to, I know a lot of people always jump to femininity, but there are some feminine heterosexual men. But there are also some very masculine gay men. Just saying. Keep that in mind. So it can be a little confusing out there. Not every man's going to be like, ooh, and it's going to be very obvious to you. All right. See, okay. I can't even pronounce your name here. Norum says Mecca wants to be the bad bee in the relationship. Well, no spoilers because I'm only on episode 3. Right now, they're in a good place. But thank you for the warning because before I fall in love with this couple, okay? All right, guys, as I'm doing this, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about a bunch of hot topics. Right now, we're talking about the new season 20 of Married at First Sight. How are you guys feeling about the experts? These are new experts. I don't know because I felt like the other experts, I'm so used to the other experts, and the other experts made sense, especially the pastor and the therapist. Now they have a sex therapist, and this guy, I've actually seen this guy doing interviews, something else on TikTok. He has his own podcast and show there. Seeing him on Married at First Sight, what's his expertise? I know he hosted the one in the UK, but what's his background? Does he have a background in relationships? Because I don't get that vibe when he was asking the questions and interviewing the people. Okay. The man is from Married at First Sight, UK. I do know that, but what's his expertise? Does he have an expertise? I need our pastor to come back because that makes sense. For those that don't realize, pastors usually meet with couples and provide counsel. I don't know. All right. El Michelle says matchmaking in a relationship. He got a degree in that? And I'm not saying he can't be a host of the show, but are we really leaning into matching these people with experts? Because based on the process that I saw, it feels like the process has been removed from the entertaining part of it, and now it's just focused on the entertainment. Okay. Jones says he's a relationship expert. Dr. Heavenly says that she's a relationship expert. So that's not convincing to me. Is there a degree? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, is there a degree? And this is no shade to him. I'm just so used to the show being one way when it comes to expertise and experience. And I feel like that's kind of thrown out the window. But okay. Look, okay. Jesse says expert in producing. That's what it felt like. It's definitely giving Karamo. Karamo on Queer Eye. It's definitely giving Karamo, like, not really an expert, but I took a class. I feel like I'm probably more of an expert because I actually have a degree in psychology. Not to say that I would consider myself an expert, but I feel like I would be more of an expert than him. Just saying. I'm not trying to take no one's job. I'm just saying. But all right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay, before I move on. So you guys are saying Mecca wants to be the bad bee in a relationship. How you guys feel about Caitlyn and Devin? Are they just there? For me right now, they're just there. There's nothing that I want to report on. Cameron and Michelle, just there, but I have hopes for their relationship. Very cute couple, okay? Courtney, I definitely think she's MAGA. Nick, I definitely think he's just here to be here on another reality show. Nikki and Sean, or Walter, as I like to call him. Okay, so Sean, what is Sean's job? Sean is a college VP of administration. He's 47, and Nikki is 46. She's an HR leader. I've seen some red flags with her in her interview process. Their viral video that was going around was their wedding, which really, shout out to the producers because that's what brought me in this season. Because I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So people are speculating, and I'm not even just saying, not Walter, Sean. People have speculated that some of the men on here might be a part of the Ligga Bigga Tigga crew. I don't know, but some have assumed that maybe Sean might be. So there's a viral video going around on social media, on TikTok, about a woman who alleges that she dated one of the guys. She's not going to out the guy. she dated one of the guys on Married at First Sight, the current season. So I'm going to show you what she had to say. And again, she doesn't say who, and I'm not going to say I believe that it's any of these individuals, but we are going to look what she had to say. Okay, we're going to play this on the fair use for research purposes. Okay, let me show you.
I know one of the men on the new season of Married at First Sight, and I'm pretty sure he's gay. Okay, so let me just start off by saying I was going to come on here and say exactly who this man was. But then after consulting with one of my gay friends, he said that perhaps he's not out of the closet yet and that I shouldn't out him. Understood. I won't out him. But I think most of us know who this man is if you watch the first couple episodes. And if you haven't watched it, or if you don't suspect anyone yet, you'll know who I'm speaking of as the season goes on, because I don't think that this is something he's going to be able to keep inside throughout filming. Okay, so this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I met him on a dating app. I am someone who often dates outside of my city. I've been doing that for maybe 6-7 years now. I had the location for Hinge set in, I think it was New York at the time. He and I matched, and we began talking via the app for a couple days, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and we spoke over the phone for a couple days. During this time, when we spoke over the phone, his voice seemed the way it seems now on the show. So I just thought, okay, he's a very professional, educated man. I like that. Didn't bother me. Like, he spoke proper, but it wasn't like too feminine or anything. Cool. Then I think we video chatted in some kind of way. And while video chatting, he said to me that he had a proposition for me. And I was like, okay, what's up? And he was like, I've been approached to go on a reality show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And he was like, the reality show is about couples who are long distance dating. And I was like, oh, okay. He was telling me like about how much money they made, and he was trying to like launch a reality show career. And he was like, I just feel like you'd be perfect for it. And I was like, well, I would be. I am very much someone who should be on reality TV. Okay, I just have that personality. And so basically he was like, let's just pretend like we've been together longer than we have. At this point, we knew each other like 4 or 5 days. Okay, don't judge me. Don't judge me. This is my story. Don't judge me. We had known each other like 4 or 5 days. And he was like, let's just pretend that we've been together for a while and that we're long distance dating. And he was like, and the reason why I'm asking you now is because the producers want me to audition for this show in like maybe a week or so, or a few days or so. And I was like, okay. Like, yeah, let's go scam these producers out of some money. Sure, let's go get on a reality show and put our acting skills to good use. Fine, that's cool with me. So I was down with it. Okay, I was like, yeah, we can fake and pretend. We had like separate phone calls with the casting agents, and then we had like, I believe, a joint phone call with them. It was like a Zoom, and we made up some stuff. I don't even know what all we said, but we made up some stuff. But we didn't say anything like drastic. We just said like we've known each other for a couple months. We met on a date.
I will say this. In regards to this, it just makes you look at reality television, especially now, because reality television has been around for like 20 plus years, 30 years. This is what I'm saying, that why it's not what it used to be, because there are a lot of people that just want their moment in the sun.
App, and I think they asked us like, what was the biggest constraint in your relationship, and we just said long distance, because that's the whole premise of the show, and that was it. Okay, this is maybe like 5 or 6 days into knowing each other. So after that, he ended up flying in to Atlanta. He has family that lives in Atlanta, and he flew to Atlanta, and I met him. He was in some type of like band or something, I don't know, but I met him at a church. It was like after hours at the church. They were having rehearsals or something was going on, but it was other people there. Like, it was other people at the church. Now, remember I said he has like a persona, like the same persona he's putting on right now on the show. That's what I knew up until this point. He didn't seem like flamboyant or anything. So it was like at nighttime, after hours at this church, other people were there. He comes out to the parking lot to get me, and he starts skipping up to my car. And that's when I was like, what's going on here? Mind you, while we're scamming these reality show people to get on this show, we still are like interested in one another. You know what I mean? Up until this point, we're still interested in one another. So the plan was to date, like to really date. He starts skipping up to my car, like literally skipping up to my car. And I remember what he was wearing. He had on plaid pants and like a bright colored shirt. I don't remember if it was like orange or pink or red, but it was a bright colored shirt, but he had on plaid pants. plaid, and they were very fitted pants. So I'm watching this man with these plaid tight ass pants and this bright colored shirt skip up to my car. He's skipping.
Wait, is plaid gay now? Are we not? Wait, are heterosexual men not allowed to wear plaid? Can y'all let me know in the chat? I'm sorry, that's the skipping part. I almost forgot. Like I didn't listen to this video before. I almost forgot about the skipping part. OMG.
And so I was like, eyes were huge. And so then he walks up to me. He gives me a hug. He's like, "Can I give you a hug?" So we hug. And immediately I said to myself, he's gay. This man is gay. And it's not even the type of gay that it's like you can hide. This is gay. It's gay. Okay. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, you know, whatever. In my mind, I clocked out. Okay. There's no more trying to make a relationship here. There's no more like any of that. Can we go on the reality show and pretend? Sure. I'm an excellent actress. Okay. Listen, I did theater arts in high school and college. I can pull this off, okay? So I go inside the church, and there's like music happening and a lot of people in there. Not like a lot of people, but maybe like 20, 30 people in there walking around. So, you know, he's in there, and I'm a very observant person. So I just watched him. I observed him, you know, while he was playing his instruments and talking to other people. I observed him and just like watched, you know, what drew his attention. You know, where did his eyes go in the room? His eyes went to other men a lot of times in the room. Like a lot of times. And there was one time in particular where he and I were face-to-face speaking. And mind you, I was wearing a form-fitted, like I knew I was going to a church. So I was still, you know, I looked appropriate, but I had on a form-fitted like bodycon skirt, and I had on like an off-the-shoulder top or whatever, and heels. We were talking, we were face-to-face. And as he's talking, all of a sudden I noticed him do this. As a man walks by. Then this same man goes around the room or does something, and I notice him do this. He was locked in on that man. So that immediately was making me be like, So I'm just sitting there at this point like, okay, I know what this is. And you know what? It didn't bother me. It did not bother me at all. Like, I'm not invested at this point. I knew this man like a week. I'm not invested in anything. We already established that we're going to con these people and make them believe that we've been in a long distance relationship for 2 months. Like, I don't care. You know, do you, boo? I don't care. He really could have came out and told me at that moment. I would not have cared. I was still gonna do the show. We was gonna fake it till we make it, child. That I promise you, I did not care. But I quickly realized that his in-person persona was totally different from his on the phone facade. Okay, like I think what we're seeing right now in the show is the facade that I was shown the first week before we met in person. It was the facade. You know, like he was trying to reserve himself. He was trying to like, you know. But after a while, especially when we met in person, he was unable to do that. He couldn't control it. He couldn't contain it. You know what I mean? It just came out. So the last thing I heard about the reality show, one of the casting agents called me or something. And then the next thing I heard, they decided to cancel. One of the last things that I remember talking to him about, this may have been our last conversation, but I can't be for sure. It was a long time ago. But it was one of the last things. He called me up one day and he was like, "Porsha, you'll never believe what I'm doing right now." And I was like, "What?" Mind you, this voice is very high pitched. I was like, "What?" He was like, "I'm at a block party in Harlem and I'm dancing in the rain." I was like, "Okay." He was like, "No, I'm literally dancing in the rain. Oh, I love life." I swear, when he said "I love life," it sounded like he twirled. I can't prove that because we were on the phone, but it sounded like he twirled. Like I love life. Like arms completely stretched, twirling in the rain. Nonetheless, listen, I would not be making this video right now if it weren't for the fact that I just feel like Married at First Sight is not the show to play on. Like, I know he and I were going to play and fake and pretend to go on this reality show, pretend like we were in a relationship. We had an understanding and it only affected us. It wouldn't have affected anyone else. You know what I mean? No one else is getting lied to except for, you know, the producers. But like, there's not an innocent bystander that will be severely harmed from this. On Married at First Sight, they have a reputation of pairing women, especially Black women, with very unserious men. Okay? They have a history of that. And I just feel like this woman, you know, I don't know her story or whatever, but you don't want to play with someone's hope like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is her hope. She probably really wants this. She seems like she really does. You know what I mean? This may be her last chance in a lot of situations. I don't think you should play with that. I just don't. I don't think this is the show that you should lie on. And, you know, if you lie to be on a reality show, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I don't think this is the show that you should do that on, because this severely impacts somebody's life. This is her hope that we're talking about. Don't take their hope away. This isn't the show to play with on this. If it were any other show that he went on, probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't even be making this video. I'd watch it and just be like, oh, that's such and such. This is not the show to do that on. So I don't know what happens in their relationship, in their marriage or whatever, but I hope that she is able to get out without being severely emotionally hurt from it.
Again, she doesn't say who, but I think we read between the lines. And if you've been watching, I watched the first 3 episodes. I will say this couple, Sean and Nikki, that awkward moment when they're getting married, but then as I've watched him, it definitely feels forced. He definitely feels like he's putting on for the camera, and that is annoying. In regards to what that content creator said, it does also feel like this is not the show. There are plenty of reality shows. If you can go on and play these reindeer games, but Married at First Sight, a lot of these people are desperate to get married and they want to get married. They're ready to get married. This is their last hope. Some of them feel like, and if she's not in on the joke when it comes to this situation, then I feel even worse for her. But she's not even really attracted to this man, and I don't even think it's because he has a dad bod, because that's something that comes up as well. I think if he gave an energy of masculine energy, for lack of a better word, I think that she would probably feel a little bit differently about him, because he's not a bad looking guy. But there is something about him that comes across inauthentic. There is something about him that does come across like, are you sure you want to be with Nikki? Just not sure. However, like I said before, there are some heterosexual men that are effeminate. But based on what this other woman described, it definitely sounds like Sean. But again, she never confirmed whether it was not Sean, but just the description of the voice and stuff like that, I was like, It also felt like during the first couple of episodes, Sean was playing a character and trying to make it seem like he is very sexual. He's wanting to kiss her. I feel like he is definitely trying to play a character. And I'm not going to say if it's a straight character, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's authentic. It's definitely giving like, oh, I got to play like I'm really into her. I got to act like I'm this sort of like, not womanizer, but kind of giving that same energy. But I will say this, because we've talked about this on the channel, a lot of womanizers are usually men struggling with their sexuality. A lot of abusers are men struggling with their sexuality. Okay. So, hold on, wait. Travel says, Kempire, he does bathe. He doesn't use soap. But talking about 69 position, I must have missed that part. Or maybe I'm not up to that part, because I still have 5 more episodes, maybe 6 more episodes to go. Yeah, there's 9 episodes of Married at First Sight. I don't know about that part. Like, did I miss that part? Yes, RC, thank you so much for reminding. There's a lot of wildfires going on over there in Europe. Speaking of, prayers to France for those horrific fires. Over 300,000 people evacuated so far. Those fires are out of control. So sad. Wave Keith, thank you so much for the super chat, for being a member. Wave Keith says, Sean Santana ain't fooling anyone. Not Santana. I know what you did there. His wife deserves to know the truth. Married at First Sight is a humiliation ritual for desperados. I feel bad for Nikki in this situation. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat, says he is a variant of Simon and Dennis, aka Senis. Really? Hey, Ms. Parker, I didn't even see you in here. Ms. Parker, thank you so much for the super chat, for being our mod and a member. Ms. Parker says Married at First Sight has gone down since season 17, and then moving to Peacock last season. An insider stated that the marriages are no longer legal. UK production is horrible, and the experts are producing for TV drama. It definitely feels that way. Hence why I was questioning the new experts that they have. Because remember, when you first watched Married at First Sight, we got to see the process. They didn't even spend that much time on the process. The process they were giving us was very orchestrated, very entertainment driven. We didn't really see the experts looking through and talking about the personalities. They talk about the personalities, but it was definitely a glossed over, glossy version of what we got in the original. The original was, hence why it was hard to recap it, because it was so damn long. But that's what made Married at First Sight be around for 20 seasons. Okay. Oh, Mahoney says he doesn't use a washcloth. Why do we know that? He talks about it. Okay. Hold on. Desiree says, don't get me wrong. Noni is a piece of work too. Okay. All right. So that's what I had to say about Married at First Sight. I'm still in the middle of it. I might have more thoughts. You never know. I might do a special podcast episode or a blog post. Make sure you guys are following us on our website. Head over to thekempire.com. Check out our stories. We got a bunch of new blog posts. I just did a review of the trailer for Children of Blood and Bone. That's a new movie coming out. I'm excited. I didn't even know that this was coming out. Viola Davis is in it. Cynthia Erivo's in it. It's like an all-star cast. So if you missed that, go check out our blog post on thekempire.com. Join our mailing list at thekempire.com/join. And shout out to our sponsor today, Square. Support from today's episode comes from Square, the business platform that helps sellers become neighborhood favorites. Whether you're gearing up for a busy season or just trying to keep up with the everyday demand, Square keeps your business running smoothly, from payments and POS to online orders, inventory, staff, and more, all in one place so that you can focus on your customers, not your to-do list. Ready to grow or streamline how you run things? Square is offering listeners up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/kempire. Again, SQUARE.com/go/kempire. Start with Square and build a setup that grows with your business. You know, I'm all about the little details that make an experience feel elevated. And one of the things that I noticed recently at my chiropractor's office, they provide a bunch of different things, including Pilates, including massage. I noticed that they use Square. I noticed how seamless it made my checking out experience with them every week. Tap, done, and the receipts already in my email inbox before I even put my wallet away. That's Square running quietly in the background, building the Kempire as an actual business, not just a YouTube channel. I get why that matters. When the tech behind the counter just works, the owner gets to focus on the customer instead of troubleshooting a card reader. Square puts payments, POS, and inventory and staffing all in one system. So a business owner isn't juggling 5 different apps just to open for the day. And they've made pricing simple too. 3 clear plans: free, plus, and premium. So you pay for what you actually need, no hidden fees or surprise upcharges. Square helps you run your business more smoothly, bringing payments, operations, and insights together in one place, so you're ready for whatever's next. Right now, listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/kempire. That's SQUARE.com/go/kempire. Get started with Square and build a setup that works the way you do. And we're back. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Travel and Trails reveals more about, allegedly, I'll say. I don't have to say allegedly because he said it on the show. Travel and Trails says that the man does not bathe. He took a whole bath, no soap. But I thought even with a whole bath, you're using soap. Because remember, we had a whole conversation about the whole bath, about when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. The man does not bathe. He took a whole bath and no soap. That is not a whole bath. That is nasty. Okay. Well, then I don't think he's a part of the Liga Big Sugar crew if he's doing all that. You know what I mean? Because we're very clean folks. Okay. Trinity says that's a rinse. Ew, that's so nasty. Melly said that's just the rinse cycle. Ooh, okay. All right. Fine. All right, let's move on, guys, because I have some other stories that I want to get into before we get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion looks. I want to give you an update on this Kandi versus Tamar story. So yesterday we did a video talking about Tamar doing an interview, basically saying that she doesn't have beef with anyone. She also said that she was just congratulating someone. We talked about it. If you missed it, we did a separate video. Mods, can we post a link in the description? I mean, in the live chat. Well, since then, in the comments section, Kandi responded and says, "No beef, question mark." Let me show you what Kandi said. She said, "No beef, question mark." Lord. She says, but she was just calling me a bitch as she walked past me at a party last Saturday. Rolling eye emojis. I can't do the fake-ish. But Kandi wasn't done. So for those that want to know the context. So the context here is during Essence Fest a couple of weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, more than 3 weeks ago, over 3 weeks ago, during July 4th weekend, there was a whole celebration. You know, people were receiving honors, including Kandi and Monica, and Brandy was there as well. So they took this group shot and Tamar was there. Tamar reaches over. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so you see here Tamar saying something to Kandi. Kandi will roll her eyes in 2 seconds. She rolls her eyes. Monica doesn't move. She's just, because there is some beef between Monica, but Monica hasn't said anything on the internet. So it hasn't even caused this to be a drama between Tamar and Monica. I will say this, though. Kandi did go to her social media and posted a picture of her in this outfit, instead basically giving side eye while keeping it classy. Okay. Tamar decided to throw up some pictures from this event and put a shady remark. Okay. And then she was liking and pinning shady remarks. She then deleted it. But that's Tamar. Tamar will be like messy and then and hide her hand later. So during the interview with L'Oreal, she basically says, I don't have beef with anyone but the devil. She's like, I was just being congratulatory. That was it. But Kandi reveals that, oh, it's so interesting that we don't have beef, but you saw me at a party the other day and you called me the B word. Okay. And everyone in the comment section, they were like, I believe Kandi. What about you guys in the chat? Do you believe Kandi? Well, Kandi wasn't done. And I told you guys this. I feel like Kandi, now that she's divorced, she's giving a completely different energy. And apologies for the siren. This is why I'm usually in the studio. Kandi is giving a very different energy since divorcing Tucker. Okay. And it's almost like she's like, I'm about that life. It's red hair Kandi all over again. Okay. So Kandi wasn't done when she posted that comment. Kandi went to her IG story to post a couple of things about her being a Taurus, sort of very insinuating when it comes to this situation with Tamar. But she also posted this interview that Jason Lee, from Hollywood Unlocked, did with Carlos King, where he revealed that Tamar was actually pretty damn messy and was trying to use him as a blogger to come at Kandi. Because you remember there was also a little bit of a beef between Kandi and Jason Lee at one particular point. So in this recent interview, this is what Jason Lee had to say. And Kandi reposted this on her Instagram story and says, oh, but I'm supposed to be the mean girl. Take a look.
Now, if you're talking to Tamar Braxton, then she's going to have her opinion about me because of the fact that I woke up and realized that she was using me and built a relationship with Hollywood Unlocked through Jason Lee and was trying to use my platform to attack Kandi. Once I realized the game, I was like, okay, cool. And then she felt what that looks like because I don't handle betrayal well. And I show up as my true, authentic self. And when you burn me, chances are you're probably going to get burned. Now, I will say that's the same Tamar Braxton, though, who was my friend, who hung out with me, who I put money in her pocket so she could feed her family, who put her on my platform, who brought her on my show. I did stuff with her. You know, the same person. I didn't switch up overnight. But the one thing I won't do is allow anybody to use, abuse, or attack me and think that the Lord that I serve won't give them the blessing of a lesson not to do that to nobody else.
Whale Key says that's probably why she befriended Funky Dineva. Honestly, I think we talked a little bit about this when the beef between Funky and Tamar happened as well. I was like, that's an interesting relationship and new friendship, but that blew up before she was able to use him. I would be interested to hear what Funky has to say in regards to why do you think that she befriended you at that particular point? It wouldn't shock me that that's what she was doing. If she had allegedly done that with Jason, it wouldn't shock me that that's what she was probably going to try and do and weaponize Funky maybe against Kandi or any of her other enemies. Because that's the thing with Tamar, and we said this similarly about K. Michelle. She likes to play the victim in this in life, basically. She's done it with her sisters. We've seen it. It's well documented on Braxton Family Values and on the new show, The Braxtons. We've seen her do it with multiple beefs. You are the common denominator, Tamar. You are the common denominator when it comes to these beefs. We've covered so many of your beefs, and it's not just a beef with one person. It's beef with multiple people. It was beef with Kandi. It was beef with Funky Dineva. It was beef with Tommy. Then it was beef with your Bang Yang Yang man. It's been beef upon beef. It was beef versus Jesse Wu. I'm sure there's people I'm missing, but that's already a ton of people for you not to be the problem. But okay, all right. But Kandi's activated. So I was like, oh, Kandi's actually going to say something. Okay. Oh, and then we didn't even talk about beef with Monica, beef with Toya Johnson, the beef with Tiny. Her and Tiny used to be so close. So it's so interesting in that interview with L'Oreal. She was like, you know, I got my real people, my real friends that don't play about me. I'm like, who are those people at this particular point? Because a lot of your real friends are no longer around. Okay. Ariel says, K. Michelle. Look, you see how long this list is getting, and the common denominator is Tamar. We talking about K. Michelle, Jesse Wu, Kandi, Funky Dineva, Jason Lee. Like, the list is getting longer. Now I don't have enough hands. The way of Keith says, the cast of The Real. Lonnie, she took shots at Lonnie during the Nene Leakes interview. Do y'all see how long that list is for the other people to be the problem? Come on now. Stacey said the imaginary ones in her head. Probably. OMG. But I remember the last time she said she was going to go to her farm and say goodbye to the drama. But she has the number one movie this summer, the number one summer movie this summer. Okay. Lexi says, Kempire, you need your Taylor Swift song. Wait. Excuse me. I need to bring it back. I definitely need to bring it back because that's, I'm not a Swiftie, but I do love that sound bite. And I like that song, to be honest with you. Miss Parker says, please go back to the farm. Now I'm wondering what kind of farm she went to, because you know what they said. Just say the girls go, please count. Come on. Maloney says, what movie? I don't know. It's some Tubi movie. I thought The Odyssey probably was the number one movie of the summer, or Toy Story 5. Just Carlisle says, wait, Carly says, funny farm. Yeah, that farm. April says, you know what farm it is, Kemp. That part. All right. Let's move on, guys. Keep liking the video. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show returns to New York City September 25th. Tickets are now available. You can also stream the show live from anywhere in the world. Go get your tickets today. But if you are going to be in New York City, will be in New York City, want to be in New York City, go get your tickets for in-person. Meet and greet tickets are available. I'll be at the Green Room 42. All right. So go get those tickets today. Ticket information will be available along with all the information in regards to our sponsors. Right? Speaking of sponsors, I have to say thank you to our MyFitnessPal sponsor. We got more to say about our friends over at MyFitnessPal. So I want to talk to you about something that I've done on and off for years, even before this was a sponsored anything: intermittent fasting. Have you tried it before? For me, it was never about extreme dieting or anything like that. It was more about giving my body a rhythm, a time for my body to eat and a time for my body to rest. And when I was dialed in, I really felt the difference. My energy felt steadier and I wasn't crashing in the afternoon. So this is real for me. But here's the real deal. For me, back in the day when I was doing intermittent fasting, I had to rely on timers, reminders, and I would forget. I was like, wait, when did I stop eating last night? When can I start eating today? Well, our friends over at MyFitnessPal is making it even easier to track your intermittent fasting if that's something that you do. So when I found out MyFitnessPal Premium has a built-in fasting tracker now, this is it right here. Look how simple. It actually walks you through it. You pick your goal. There is a 12-12 if you're brand new and easing in, a 14-10, or the 16-8, which is the one I do. 16 hours fasting and 8-hour eating window. And I love that it tells you right here, check with your doctor before making big changes. And there's even a what is intermittent fasting and is it right for you link built in. It's not pushing you, it's informing you. And as you'll see in the app, it's calculating everything for you. You set the time that you want to start fasting, and it automatically lets you know when you can break your fast. It even gives you tips on how to be successful at intermittent fasting, like stay hydrated, increase your protein, and more importantly, listen to your body. So the thing that I used to have to juggle, timers, memory, is now all in MyFitnessPal Premium. As I mentioned to you guys before, I recently met with my nutritionist. So fasting isn't for everyone. And I like that the app always tells you speak to your doctor, speak to someone with the expertise in this, just to see if it will work for you. But if this has been something that you've been considering, now you have one place where it does everything for you. Because as I've been telling you, nutrition is the foundation of everything, especially when it comes to your energy, your sleep, and your recovery. And it's not just about what you eat, it's also about the rhythm of when you eat. And I'm so happy that MyFitnessPal Premium is making that just so much easier for everyone in every lifestyle. So if intermittent fasting is something that you've been considering or you've already been doing and you didn't realize that with MyFitnessPal Premium, it now makes your life so much easier when it comes to tracking it and going back and seeing, oh, how many days did I intermittent fast this week? It does it for you in MyFitnessPal Premium. As always, I've gotten you a discount. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off premium. All the information on your discount and everything MyFitnessPal will be available in the description. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. Again, guys, you can save a whole lot when you use our discount code. That's $68 a year, $5.66 a month, and 19 cents a day. More information on MyFitnessPal and all of our sponsors will be available in the description. I know you guys came here for us to talk about a lot of the things. I just want to make sure, did I talk about all the things I wanted to talk about? Besides the reunion looks, I think I have. Yes. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion looks. As you know, over the weekend, the reunion looks leaked. However, it leaked before we even got to see the official photos of them in the reunion looks. It seems as if Scotland was the theme, even though we didn't get the traders. Fine. The theme was a mix of green and black and gold. And we already kind of reacted a little bit, but I told you I wanted to save my reaction for the full reunion looks. But now we have the full reunion looks, including Cynthia Bailey's reunion look. For those that may have seen it already, be sure to let us know your favorites in a moment. Before we do that, let me read to you what Bravo has written about this year's reunion. Shout out to the Daily Dish. So they write this. They said the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion looks are here, and they are works of art. The Peach Holders channeled their cast trip to Scotland for their sit down with Andy Cohen, opting to wear dresses that were show-stopping in their own right. Cast members Shamea Morton, Angela Oakley, Phaedra Parks, Kelli Potter, Drew Sidora, and Porsha Williams were all on hand to discuss the drama throughout the season. They were joined by RHOA Season 17 newcomers, Pinky Cole and K. Michelle, and later joined by RHOA Season 17 friend, Cynthia Bailey. The women went all out with their metallic looks, featuring serious structural details and dazzling embellishments like feathers and pearls. They accessorized these dresses with fabulous shoes, perfectly coiffed hair, and statement-making jewelry. One look even included more than $700,000 in diamonds. Was that Pinky? I think that was Pinky. Because remember, I told you she looked like a rich auntie with what she had around her neck in the outfit. All right, well, let's take a look at these reunion looks. I'm gonna have to minimize you guys for a second because I don't have all my screens in front of me. All right, let me see if I can send this so I can actually read the reunion looks and what they actually. Hold on, y'all. As I'm doing that, be sure to like today's video, y'all, because I want to see if I can at least be able to tell you what everyone is wearing, since my screen is not as big as I'm used to. All right, let's minimize that. Let me bring up these reunion looks. Okay. All right. We're going to start with Shamea. Okay, Shamea. Because remember when she was sitting down, I wasn't sure how I felt about the look. And I have to say, she was dressed really impeccably during her last season reunion. I loved her look. She didn't have the greatest reunion, but she had a really great reunion look. Okay. All right. Let me tell you who did what. Okay. So dress was by Lena Berisha. Shoes were Renee Covilla. Jewelry was Cartier. Stylist was Chanel Welsh, who styled, Wendy Cepho for many years as well. Hairstylist Stitchy. Makeup artist was Christopher Michael. If you guys had to rate Shamea's look from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I kind of want to zoom in and kind of look at the details of this dress. I wonder if there's any sort of message. Okay, so they say this in the article. This look embodies modern royalty, bold, powerful, and unapologetically glamorous, Shamea told Bravo Insider via email. I wanted something that felt regal from every angle. I mean, I think she looks beautiful. Hair, makeup. I don't know how I feel about the dress. Are those diamonds in the middle there? I don't hate the dress, though. I mean, the body is body-yada-yada-ing. And it also feels a little bit of an ode to some African influence as well. But I love that it's gold. Let me zoom into the jewels on her fingers. Okay, jewels on the fingers. This is a good look, though. I love that I can actually zoom in on the iPad. I need to use the iPad more often. Because I can really zoom in. It's because to me, it's all about the details. I will say this. I like the hair and makeup, but I probably would have done different hair. I don't know if I love the hair here, because I feel like with this outfit, it could have something different. I'm not saying that anything's wrong with the hair, but I probably would have done something a little different with the hair. Maybe go a little bit more risky. Maybe like curls or something. Like I just feel like, or even something a little bit more like Afrocentric. I don't know. Just because of the dress is kind of giving that. You know what I mean? I mean, she looks great, though. If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you guys rate it? I think this is strong. I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I'm not in love with the hair. I'm giving it an 8.5. Not an 8.5. All right. You guys let me know how you would rate it in the description. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know as well. All right. Who's next? All right. Speaking of gold, let's bring up Angela Oakley. Angela Oakley. Maybe I can make. Okay, there we go. Angela Oakley's reunion look. Her dress was by Pajtim Racy. Jewelry, earrings, Valentino Garavani. Rings was by Alexis Batar. Shoes was Jimmy Choo. Stylist was Tim B. Hairstylist was Tevin Washington. Makeup artist was Jeremy Dell. I think it's okay. It's not terrible, but I'm not in love with it. And I haven't really been in love with Angela's fashion. If you've been watching my recaps, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's a bad mamma jamma. She's a tall, statuesque woman. Body is body yaddying. Let me zoom in a little bit to look at I like the gold on her. I like her hair and makeup. I don't know. I just feel like she hasn't found her way when it comes to her own personal style. It's not a terrible look, but it's not my favorite look. I'm not like wowed by it, but it's all right. If anything, I probably preferred her reunion look from last season more. The makeup feels a little harsh, though. You guys agree? Because I can zoom in, her makeup feels a little harsh. All right, Angela. This gold dress with the fringe at the bottom. Is that fringe, y'all? Is that what y'all consider fringe? This is what Angela had to say about her look. She says, we went for a modern twist on old Hollywood glamour. I can see that, especially with the hair. We wanted to look to be edgy, but still classy, timeless, and unique, Angela told Bravo Insider via email. We wanted movement of the dress to look like liquid gold cascading over the body. I don't know if you hit the marks in regards to that. What do you guys think? All right. Ariel says her makeup is gorgeous. Yes, the cheeks, it could have been blended better. Kendra says, yeah, it does feel a little harsh there. But I think it's a decent look. I think it's a safe look. I think she looks good. I'm going to give her maybe, I'm giving her a 7. A strong 7. Jen Falalala says, I can see the vision. I can see the vision. I just don't know if the execution was there. How would you guys rate Angela's look? I'm going to give it a 7. How would you guys rate Angela's look? Okay. All right. Let's rate Phaedra. So Phaedra, who's had an okay season, definitely giving friend of and not full-time housewife. Her reunion look is her dress is brought to you by Zivado. Shoes are Gucci. Jewelry is platinum 60-carat invisible set diamond bracelet by Oscar Heyman. Earrings were by Anaya Jewelry. Necklace is, I don't know what this is. Something carats? Oh, IV is with the Roman numeral. Carats. Stylist was Art Khan. Hairstylist, Alonzo Arnold. Makeup artist, Tommy Babalobe. I can't pronounce it. So those are the people that brought this look together. Let me zoom in on this look. I like the color. I definitely like, honestly, based off of her reunion look, y'all remember her reunion look from last year? Her reunion look from last year was horrible. And it looked like, it looked so costumey. This is a far cry from that. Hair and makeup looks great. I like the color on her. I don't know how I feel about the see-through opening, but I'm not mad about it either. How do you guys feel about the top part around her breasts? I think this is a good look on her. I think she looks good. Okay, she's showing leg, all right? Yeah, last year's reunion look was horrible. So this, just off the strength of last year and how far she's come since last year, I got to give this look an 8. I got to give this look an 8 because this is definitely a far cry from last year. Chris says, I liked it better sitting. I think so too. And it could also be her pose. This is why I always say it's important to see the reunion looks in action. It could also be her pose. So according to the Bravo Insider, that says, inspired by the rich emerald landscape of Scotland, Bravo told Bravo Insider backstage that she was very excited to wear her custom dress. She says, let's hope you love it as much as I do. Ooh, she said, I'm wearing she's the one wearing close to $750,000 in jewels today. So it's going to be quite an expensive day if I lose anything. Did she borrow those jewels? I mean, it's definitely not giving that she's wearing that amount. I mean, I can see the diamonds on her hands, but why are you wearing that much in jewelry? All right. How would you guys rate Phaedra's reunion look from 1 to 10? I'm seeing 8. Okay. Stacey says it's the bracelet. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see the bracelet, but apparently that's $750,000. Okay. Lexi gave it a 7. Oh, I think she had a necklace on too. Did she? We can't see it in this picture. We definitely can't see it on in this picture. I'll show you again. She doesn't have a necklace on in this picture. Okay. Honestly, I'm glad it was Phaedra and not Pinky, because that would not be great when we're talking about you're in the middle of a bankruptcy. So she shouldn't be wearing real jewels or nearly $1 million in jewels. Okay. I see 8.5. I see 8. I see 9. I see 7. Okay. That's how you guys feel about her reunion look. Phaedra's reunion look. All right, let's talk about your fave. The standard, okay? She has set the standard for the girls. Let me show you Kelli Potter's reunion look. Kelli is setting another standard for the most tackiest reunion look of all time. OMG. So her dress is by Lena Berisha, another Lena Berisha dress. Shoes are Christian Louboutin. Jewels are from Chanel. Hairstylist is Vincent Tobias. Makeup artist is Melissa Droulard. Here's the thing. There is no stylist listed. So that makes me think she's styling herself. Makes sense. How would you guys rate this look? This is my least favorite look. Hair and makeup. Okay, hair, I'm not going to say. Hair doesn't look bad in this picture. It didn't look great in live in motion from the video that leaked. Makeup feels a little too harsh, especially the cheekbones. The blush is giving very, very harsh. But my thing is, if she's styling herself, she's probably telling the makeup artist, yeah, I want it to be really pink. The pearl that's flying around her, the train, the legs, the busting. Oh, Kelli. The standard continues to set a whole new standard of tacky. I'm going to give this reunion look, just because the hair in the picture looks decent, I'm going to give this a 4. I'm going to give it a 4, and I think that's pretty damn generous. She's, for me, the worst dress of this reunion. What about you guys? For me, she's the worst dress. This is what they said. While Kelli quipped to Bravo Insider that she wanted to wear a t-shirt to the reunion, she was happy. Not she wanted to wear a t-shirt to the reunion. Gosh. She was happy with her reunion dress. She says, I'm feeling very old Hollywood diamonds and pearls. I'm feeling very Chanel-y, very minimalist, but classic. She shared rich pearls because I am a pearl. I feel like I've been in my oyster and I'm evolving and being a better person and a pearl today. That's how I'm feeling. Okay. I don't know if I would say pearl. It's definitely giving crab. It's definitely giving crab. I don't know. But okay. Fine, Kelli. How would you guys rate Kelli Potter's reunion look? It was my least favorite look, honestly. It was my least favorite look. All right, let's show you Drew Sidora. Drew, I'm glad we get to see you standing up in this. I love this look on Drew. I love the hair. I mean, the hair is a lot. I think they could have used a little bit, maybe a few bundles less. The hair is a lot, but I do like that the fringe in the hair. I think her hair and makeup look is great. The dress is, I like this dress. I could see Drew. Remember the iconic, what season was it where they wore all black? Was that season, what season was that? You guys will remind me in the chat. The season where they wore all black, I could see Drew in that picture and holding her own. How would you guys rate her reunion look? Her dress is by David Comas. Shoes are by Giuseppe Zanotti. Jewelry is Sterling Forever and Nadri. Stylist is Paris Shea. You know Paris. Hey, Paris. We were in the DMs yesterday. Paris. Hairstylist is Johnny Martin, the hairstylist. And makeup artist is Alexis Pellissier. How would you guys rate Drew's look? Drew is probably one of my favorite looks. I think she looks good. She looks rich. She doesn't look like what she's been through these last couple of seasons. What season was the all black, y'all? Did y'all say in the chat? Season 13. For me, you could take Drew out of this picture and plant her in that picture and she would have fit perfectly. Right? I love this look on Drew. I really do. I'm zooming in for the hair. Honestly, the hair could have been a little bit shorter. And this is just being particular now. With me zooming in, the hair could have been a little bit more shorter, but I don't mind like the way that they pressed the hair. Hair and makeup looks great. Drew's a beautiful woman. She looks great. Drew said this about her look. The look is giving a little Glinda from Wicked. Drew shared backstage, but the nails are giving a little alfalfa. So I don't know who you're going to get. We're going to see. All right. Drew's team described the inspiration for her look, which included ostrich feathers and liquid sequins, sharing in an email to Bravo Insider. We wanted to go with the theme of actress and Hollywood for Drew, using her time in Hollywood to show a softer, more chic and powerful, mature, sexy woman, giving Jessica Rabbit meets Atlanta. I did see that Paris posted on his social media that Chloe Bailey actually wore this look as well. I like this look. She looks great. I do like this look. And it's better than her reunion look from last season. The girls are using Paris. The girls are using Paris and they are winning. All right. Next reunion look. Guys, be sure to let me know if you're part of the replay crew how you would rate the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion looks as well. All right. So let's show you Porsha Williams. Porsha could really do no wrong when it comes to her looks. She didn't have all the best looks this season, but for the most part, like 9 times out of 10, she definitely did. I cannot pronounce the name of the person who designed this, who did this dress, Fajola, and I can't pronounce the last name, and Todd Fisher. It's a collaboration between them. The shoes are by Gianvito Rossi. The jewelry is by House of Emmanuel. Fashion stylist. Oh, wait a minute. So Paris did not style Porsha for the reunion. Her fashion stylist was Jeremy Haynes. Oh, I was surprised. Okay, so fashion stylist was Jeremy Haynes. Hairstylist was Stephen Omar King. Makeup artist was Akil McCoy. Porsha admitted to Bravo Insider backstage that her reunion look took her by surprise. My team, we all came together separately. The gown, my stylist and I wear like mad scientists in the lab, and we looked at so many dresses, and literally the dress that I have is the first dress we sent each other, the first freaking dress. And I think each reunion I have a different vision. This one, I was like, I just want to go clean, and we ended up going the opposite of clean. This is glamour overload. I think I wanted to give quintessential housewife glamour, and I wanted to bring that back, she explained. I think she looks great. Hair, makeup. Let me zoom in. The shawl is giving like foliage for Christmas, but I think she looks great. She definitely looks great. This is probably one of my favorite looks from the reunion. I like it, Porsha. I definitely like it. I mean, Porsha, 9 times out of 10, Porsha is going to hit it out the box. Desiree says is giving Zsa Zsa Gabor. 2, She Jack says is she's giving a 9 for peach juice. Okay. Someone says it reminds them of Dr. Wendy's reunion look from the last season. How would you guys rate this reunion look? I'm going to rate it a 9 because I like it. I don't necessarily love it, but I like it a lot. I definitely like it a lot. I think she looks great, though. I even like what she did with her hair. Good look. Okay. All right. Let me show you our next person, which would be Pinky Cole. Pinky. All right. So Pinky's dress is by Miss Circle. Earrings and belt by Schiaparelli. Bracelets and ring by Alexis Batar. Bag is by Cult Gaia. Shoes are by Cult of Coquette. Fashion stylist was Mickey Freeman. Oh, I know Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Hairstylist, and they've worked together before, so I'm not surprised by that. Hairstylist was Tahira Carter. Makeup artist was Ashley St. Flavin. I don't know how I feel about this reunion. It's not bad. It's a safe thing. It's definitely giving rich auntie. I mean, from the hair to the diamonds and diamonds around the neck. You know what? I don't necessarily love what is it? Ostrich feathers that she's holding. in this picture, she doesn't look pregnant. Not to say that she is pregnant, because no one has confirmed whether she's the one that announces at the reunion that she's pregnant. When she was sitting, she looked more pregnant. It's going to be a damn shame if she's not pregnant and everyone's thinking that she's the one that's pregnant. Okay. Joy says Pinky is a 4. I'm sorry. How would you guys rate her reunion look? It's okay for me. Especially in this picture, it's the ostrich feathers feel like they look like they've been through it. Or the peacock feathers. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let me zoom in. I don't know. They look like they've been through it. So it doesn't even look luxurious, but the rest of the dress does look luxurious. I'm going to give this a 6.5, which is not bad. Okay, it's not bad. Damn, we got a lot of housewives this season. Because I'm like, damn, we still got more to go? I guess we do. Hold on. K. Michelle. Let me bring up K. Michelle next. K. Michelle's reunion look. K was definitely giving, what's that character with the red hair and the green? Okay. So her dress is by Ray Ortiz. Shoes are by Femme LA. Jewelry is by Earring Plaza. Stylist is Harris Crete. Hairstylist was DeAndre Criggs. Makeup artist was Yika Olivia. Okay. Poison Ivy. Yes, she's giving Poison Ivy here. But I think she looks great, honestly. Her and Porsha are giving a run for their money. I think her hair and makeup look fabulous. When she was sitting down, the dress looked a little top heavy, but in this picture, she looks a lot better. I think she looks great. This is actually a really good look. K. Michelle told Bravo Insider backstage that she was getting sexy for her first RHOA reunion look. My signature is red hair, and I wanted a deep, rich type of red. I wanted a very clean face, and my dress is just giving sexy. It's giving boob. It's giving a little bit of metallic. I'm here, she explained. It is a very simple but classic detailed gown. K. Michelle also announced that her album, Jesus and Whiskey, is coming out in a couple of weeks. So K. Michelle planned this all well. I did a short form video the other day saying, how are we feeling about K. Michelle now that we're at the end of the season? And I said, K. Michelle played it smart. You may not like her. I may not like how she played it in regards to how she navigated the group. But when it comes to her career, now she's performing on Kelly and Mark, being a part of the Bravo universe and having Bravo PR and NBC Universal behind her. She's now going to be in spaces that she wouldn't have been without being on Housewives. Hence why so many people want to be there. And that's actually really smart when it comes to pushing out a country album where Black faces aren't highlighted as much. But now she has a huge platform. No matter if we didn't love everything she did on the platform, she has this huge platform to promote said music. I'm here for it because I've been waiting on the country album for a very long time. Okay, I know you still watch besides unfollowing me. She didn't block me though. Calm down, y'all. I know you still watch and you still pay attention. I'm here for the country music. I've always loved your R&B music, okay? So I'm here, and I've been waiting a long time for the country music. So I look forward to listening to the country music and talking about it. Don't follow me back. Let's just keep it as it is. Let's not do the Porsha thing, liking and unblocking me. No, let's keep it as is, because come next week you might be upset about something I'll say next. Okay. How would you guys rate her reunion look? I thought this was a good reunion look. It's probably one of my favorite looks. One of my favorite looks. It's not my favorite look though. Okay. So I would rate this, especially because hair and makeup, it looks good. I like the red hair. I'm going to give this a 9 as well. I'm going to give this a 9. So let me know your thoughts, guys, on and how you would rate her reunion look. Last but definitely not least, Cynthia Bailey. I will say this. I was expecting more from Cynthia. This was the one surprise from the reunion looks, because she was not out there when we saw the leaked footage of the reunion. And she's given us so many beautiful looks this season in her confessionals, and she's collaborated with Paris Shea multiple times this season. Honestly, Cynthia, you should have saved that metallic dress that's now featured in Vogue. You should have saved that for the reunion. I mean, it wouldn't have gone with the reunion based off the color theme, but it really would have. You just would have been different. I don't like this look. I don't like this look. And it's not even a dress. I don't like this look. But the thing is, Cynthia's given us so many great looks this season, from her confessionals to her press tour. And I was like, I was waiting for this to be an iconic moment for her. But again, she's not a full-time housewife. But her hair and makeup looks good. I love her hair. Can we talk about the hair? Let me zoom in. I love the hair. Honestly, I even like the cape. I don't like the bodysuit under there. I feel like I need to see this in motion, though. So the outfit is Zhang Tuan Couture. Shoes are Giuseppe Zanotti. Jewelry is Lillet, New York. Fashion stylist Paris Shea. Hairstylist Theo Barrett. Makeup artist is George Miguel. Hair and makeup look fabulous. Paris, I don't like this look. I'm sorry. But you killed it this season when it came to her reunion looks and her press tour looks. So I really was excited about this one. I really was. And I even said that to Paris in the DMs yesterday. I said, Paris, I'm excited to see the reunion look. Color me like, oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed in this reunion look. I don't like it. It's still not the worst reunion look. It's still better than Kelly's, right? It's still better than Kelly's. Someone said, "Are those socks?" No, I think that's the shoe anklet that's doing that. Okay, for this reunion, I really wanted my look to tell a story. Cynthia told Bravo Insider via email. One of the biggest inspirations was definitely a trader's vibe, a little dark, mysterious, and glamorous, as a fun nod to our cast trip to Scotland. I think that's what it's giving. It's giving a little costumey. It's giving a little costumey for me. She says, I also wanted to honor my own fashion journey. It felt like the perfect full circle moment to wear Zhang Tuan, a legendary New York couture designer I modeled for during the height of my runway career. I did see that she mentioned that. She says, to be able to come back years later and wear one of his creations on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion was really special. I mean, the story behind it is actually really beautiful. Cynthia noted that instead of doing, damn, this is a whole article for Cynthia. Cynthia, bravo, loves you. The way that they are highlighting Cynthia's section about her reunion look is longer than any of theirs, including Porsha's. She's not done. Cynthia noted that instead of doing the traditional reunion gown, she and her team went in a different direction with a dramatic couture cape and a more editorial silhouette. She says the hand-embroidered crystal detail was inspired by the New York skyline, which also pays tribute to the city where my modeling career began. She concluded, the whole look felt timeless, high fashion, and a little unexpected, which is exactly what I wanted. I mean, the story behind it is, it will definitely help with the score. The story behind it will definitely help with the score. I love a story. I still don't love this look. I still do not love this look. I'm zooming in. Maybe when she comes out, I will love the look a little bit more. But I love the fact that she reunited with someone, because it's reminding people that Cynthia was a model before Housewives. A lot of us were familiar with Cynthia Cheekbones Bailey way before Housewives. So when she went on Housewives, we were like, oh, but we got to know her more on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not my favorite look. How would you guys rate her look? I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7 just because of the story behind it. If I didn't have the story, though, it might be much lower. However, it would not be lower than Kelly's. Let me remind you what Kelly got on. Let me show you Kelly's look. This was Kelly's look. Okay. Who was your favorite? If you had to choose between Kelly and Cynthia's reunion looks, who would you say? Someone said, Kendra said a -2. Well, damn. Oh, wait a second. I Love Ray says much better on her page. Let's go look at her page. Because the last time we did that was during when was it? During Married to Medicine. And remember Dr. Contessa's picture? We were like, oh, we couldn't stand it. But then when we saw the picture on her page, we were like, oh, this is gorgeous. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can pull this reunion look up. Let me see if I can pull up her reunion look. Let's see. Cynthia. Maybe this will redeem the look for me. Okay, look, as soon as Cynthia, this does look better. Her pictures definitely look better. Let me show y'all the pictures, y'all. Because, we did this for Dr. Contessa. I'm going to wait a minute, y'all. Wait a damn minute. The cape is definitely caping, y'all. I might have to give this an 8. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. The picture does not do it justice. Thank you for letting me know to go to her Instagram. I mean, her face, too, and the ear. Cynthia was modeling in these streets in New York. Hold on. Wait a damn minute. I got to show you guys all these pictures. Her face, though, my gosh, Cynthia. Cheekbones, Bailey. Let me show y'all these photos, please, and hold, y'all, because I did not plan to do this. But let me show y'all. This picture does not do this dress justice in the least bit. Let me show y'all these photos, okay? And then I got to get out of here. Look at that. I got to get out of here. Let me just put this in preview. Let me show y'all. OMG, this might change my mind. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. I'm going to just move these to the side. And as I'm doing that, guys, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. So these are some of the photos that Cynthia posted on her social media from her reunion look. Y'all, these photos do it justice better. Better lighting, better poses. And we're not really seeing the bodysuit under it. Because honestly, it's not about the bodysuit. It's really about the cape. That's what it's about. Okay, so this is one of the looks. I mean, the hair looks even better in this photo, too. But I already told you I like the hair and makeup. Does this change? Let me see what you guys are saying, because I can't even see what you guys are saying. Okay. It's definitely making me want to up the score. Okay, now people are like, okay, see? OMG, come on. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Cynthia, the poses, girl. Look at this photo, y'all. The cape, seeing the detail of the cape. Oh, I've changed my mind. OMG, look at the detail in the cape. With New York City in the background, Radio City in the background. This made me love the cape more. The story behind the cape made me love everything about this look more. Wow. So wait. L. Ramey says, no, sir, tomatoes. Okay, Miss 24E says, not for the reunion. I give it a 6. Jean says, the hair is beautiful. Okay, Angel says, the picture makes me improve my score. Travel and Trail says, I said 8 before. And now I'm saying 10, right? Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. None of us are fashionistas, but look at these pictures. These pictures definitely changed my mind in regards to this. Look at this other picture. Okay. And for those that are listening to this on the podcast, so you can see the metallic portions of this cape, the way that they actually show more of the cape in these pictures. The bun that she's wearing with the loop of the hair, she looks gorgeous. This is a woman that's going to turn 60 years old next year. 60 years old. She has never looked better. This looks, look at this other photo where she's throwing the cape in front of her. But you notice how she's not highlighting the bodysuits, because it's not about the bodysuit. The design really was about the cape. Like, this should have been the photo. Look at this cape. The details on the cape is incredible. So when I recap this in short form, I'm not going to even show that other picture. I'm going to show this picture. The details in this cape is gorgeous. Okay, and the fact that this was one of the first designers that she worked with when she first started modeling. The story, look at her face, look at the hair. Come on, I'm sorry, I've changed my mind. I've got to up the score. I went from 8 to now a 9.5. Okay, now to a 9.5. All right. Damn, I done lost y'all. I don't even know where y'all are on my screen. There we go. All right. SK said, this is the best I've seen Kelly look. Well, damn. Well, this is not Kelly. I think you're behind. All right. And then this final shot, just a headshot. I mean, the face is facing, the beat is beating. Cynthia, I'm so glad. Shout out to the person in the chat that told me to go look at your Instagram, because the photos that you did for your Instagram versus what we got from Bravo and their photographer definitely did not do this dress justice. And now I want to see it in motion, because I feel like it's definitely going to give regal, and it's definitely going to look better in real life. Okay. I love it. I love this look. And again, shout out to those of you in the chat that told me to go look on Instagram. Okay. All right. Your girl Pepe, so you need to see Phaedra's looks. All right. Let's take a look at Phaedra's looks. I can't promise you that I won't call up her photos. Let me look at Phaedra's looks. Does it make it look the dress look better? Let's see. Not Dr. Lady. Lady Phaedra. She changed her name. Oh, wait a minute, Phaedra. Oh, Phaedra. Okay, so but here's the thing. Phaedra did have a necklace on. It wasn't in her Bravo photo. So this is why she had $750,000 around on her. It was on her neck. Oh, I got to show you the photos, y'all. Hold, please hold. And then I got to go. Okay, let me like the photo, because Phaedra, you did that, girl. You did that. Phaedra, I got to up your score too, because this looks great. I'm going to give Phaedra a 9.5 too. No, not 9.5. I can give you a 9.5. I can give you a 9.5. I guess I can. Who cares? I got to use these photos too for when I do my little short form recap. Okay, Phaedra. Okay, Faye. She said, "Ooh, look at my $750,000 necklace." Yes, child. Yes, child. Okay, Phaedra. No, you did that, girl. Phaedra, you did that. Phaedra, you did that. Come on, let me show you the photos. Okay, and then I got to get out of here. As I'm doing that, guys, mods, can you let me know where we are with the likes? We got how many of you watching today? We got 1,500 of you watching on multiple platforms. Come on now. Show me some love by liking the video. And if you're a part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know your thoughts on these reunion looks. Let me bring these up, and then I got to get out of here. And don't tell me to go look at anybody else's. Especially don't tell me to go look at Kelly's, because it's nothing Kelly going to do it's going to help improve that look. Okay? Nothing Kelly going to do going to improve that look. Okay? All right. Let's see Faye's looks. Okay, so these were Phaedra's looks. So when they said that she was wearing $750,000 worth of jewelry, so you remember from the Bravo picture, I'll show you the Bravo picture, you don't see the jewelry. So what are you guys doing over there when you're taking these pictures? So if you see Phaedra's reunion look picture, she doesn't have these diamond necklaces on. And I don't know if it's because of the mic situation. I don't know. But it definitely adds something to the dress. Okay? I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, pose, Phaedra. Pose for the camera with the big old green diamond that you're posing on. Okay. Even the hair and everything. Look, we also understand editing too. Okay, the face tune of it all. Okay, I actually have to say the diamonds around her neck, the multiple diamonds and the green diamonds actually do make the dress look better. It definitely does. Okay, look at this, the close-up of the diamonds. I'm assuming she borrowed these jewels. I'm assuming. I don't want to assume, but knowing Phaedra and her being cost conscious, these are borrowed, which is fine. Okay. Does that change how you would rate her reunion look, Phaedra's reunion look? I think she looks great. I had to up it to a 9.5. And if I'm upping hers to a 9.5, I got to up Cynthia's to a 10. Cynthia, you did that, girl. Between the story, the significance, the Bravo did you dirty with the picture, though. They did you dirty with the picture. I was like, because you also can't see the details of that damn cape. Okay. Anyway, I've digressed. All right, let me say thank you. Thank you, everyone that liked the video. It's easy free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Shout out to our channel members. Become a member of the channel at teamkempire.com/join. All kinds of really cool perks. August is upon us, so we got our new member stuff that we need to do. All kinds of cool things come to the membership. But also, don't forget, you can also follow us on Patreon because there's a lot of other perks happening over there on Patreon, including watching our most recent live show, Kempire After Dark. You can see that there, and some other stuff, some other really cool stuff. So be sure to join us on Patreon, the Kempire on Patreon. Angel, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Angel says, first place, Peach Juice. Second place, Shamea. Third place, K. Dead last is a tie with Kelly and Pinky. I think you might want to change that now that you've seen these new photos. Cheryl, thank you so much for being a member for 15 months. We appreciate your support as well. All right. I have to say, thank you to those of you that told me to go check the Instagram, because that definitely shifted. Because I have to say, Cynthia's look definitely looks so much better on her Instagram than the Bravo picture. Right? Kay says, Bravo really didn't do the ladies justice with their pics. No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. Ariel says he should know his birthstone is an emerald. That's my birthstone. That's what I also have on my necklace, y'all. That's what I have on my necklace. I mean, zipping down, y'all can see a little chest. That's what I have on my necklace. Okay. The evil eye with a green emerald. That's my birthstone. Okay. Look. All right. Replay crew. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on all the hot topics. And I know you're all going to be asking, what's the timestamp for da-da-da-da? You'll be strong. I will add the timestamps at some point today. You'll also be able to hear our live recap on the Kempire podcast. So be sure to subscribe today to that. While you're there, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Shout out to our King's Guards for holding us down during this special Thursday live. Shout out to our subscribers. We appreciate you. Our members, our Patreon baddies, our Club Kempire baddies. We appreciate you guys as well. Replay crew, keep liking the video. For those of you that are still here that haven't liked the video, what are you waiting on? You've been here this entire time. We've been live for over 2 hours. Okay. Singer DSC says it's emeralds and diamonds. Who's emeralds and diamonds? Oh, with Phaedra. Okay. All right, let's continue this conversation in the comments section. Again, thank you to our sponsors for today's live, special Thursday live, our friends over at MyFitnessPal. Make sure you guys go check it out and take advantage of your discount. It's super inexpensive. That's $68 for the year, $5.66 for the month, 19 cents a day for literally having a nutrition coach in your pocket. Take advantage of our discount, Kempire, all caps. More information on MyFitnessPal will be available in the description, and our friends over at Square. All right. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Here we go now.